New year, new adventures, new excitement, new endeavors, new, and it doesn't have to always come in the new year. It just happened that it worked out for me this way. So I'm into a new season, so to speak, of my podcast, season 3, but also in a new place along my journey of self-evolution, evolving myself, my inner child, my outer child, my inner teenager, my outer teenager, my human suit or my humanness is evolving, and it's the only way I choose to live my life. Somebody said, and I'm so sorry, I forget who, we're either growing or dying. And the moment we're born, I say this, we are closer to death. And I know that sounds a little like, but, that's the thing. The death card was always in my little hip pocket. And dealing with death in my own mind and in my own life, and then having to deal with it with the death of my sister, I've been able to really evolve my enlightenment and my wisdom. And there's not just death of a human, death of a pet, death of a relative or family member. There's the death of the old self that didn't serve, and then the birth or the rebirth of the new, of coming into our own, being comfortable in our own skin. And so along my own self-evolutionary journey, I always set the intention to level up. But what does that mean? And it's only near and dear to me personally. So the next level is what I would call the deepest, most profound spiritual step on my stairway to heaven. And then, of course, there's heaven on earth. But the next step is to really step into my most powerful self that I've had since I was a child, is that spiritual self, is that clairvoyant, clairsentient self, that sixth sense of self. I've always had this as a young child. My mother will attest to it, but I've not been comfortable to step into that spiritual part of myself up until now. And that's the only thing I ever wanted, was the highest level of spirituality and understanding the universe and the reason for being, the raison d'être, which is reason to be in French. The seeking and studying of the nature of being has been my shtick, my jam, and my obsession. And so this next level is spirituality, but now dancing in the spirituality along with humanness and the materialism of humanness, specifically money, right on the money, honey. And that's the next step, something that I felt like I was holding back on, and then in examining it more and reflecting on it more, it wasn't like I was holding back. It was I wasn't ready to practice, preach, teach, mentor, coach, empower in the realm of money. I've always been a big proponent of the abundance and prosperity, but I wasn't ready to take on this money thing. When I say money, I'm talking about fabric, paper with ink on it is what I call money. Currency, there's money. I have a specific definition for each and a distinction between the two. Currency is more like abundance and spiritual prosperity and abundance. Currency, like all my animals, my horses, my ranch, I mean, having the ability to create all these amazing animals and have them literally hand delivered, dropped off, with no money. And I call that currency. And then there's the money, which is the fabric paper with ink on it, and also the metal, the coins. And so that's what this next phase is for me. So of course I teach only what I know and have experienced and lived. It's the best way to teach, from experience, not from theory. And so although I have had a pretty tumultuous relationship with money, I came from money. I was very privileged growing up as a child. I've been a money maker, a money shaker, but I've also almost lost everything and had no money. And that came after the death of my sister, my youngest sister. And so it was all a direct correlation of my relationship to self. It affected my money. So I almost lost everything, a great adversity that I'm so thankful for, because to have no money and be happy is one of the most powerful places to be in life. And then, I was holding back, I thought, because I never really thought I had anything to offer in this area. And yet, based on proof and evidence, I sit here, and I sit here with money and materialism, and have created a lot of things. And I kept saying, oh, but it's still not enough. Who am I to teach it? And yet I am the very person to teach it, from my point of view. And who's to say that I can't? And so I've had to really evolve into owning this part of my life and to take on this relationship powerfully with money. Because my biggest saying when I do coach in my private practice around money is, it's never, ever, 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 ever about the money. And yet we must have a profound relationship to and with money, especially in a first world, and especially being born here in the U.S. and being an American, that it is essential. And it absolutely is vital and essential in any world. Just because it's just another relationship and a reflection and a physical manifestation relationship with ourself. I believe everyone and everything is truly an extension in the physical form of self, of our inner child of self, our perceptions, and what we perceive in our brain, and then backed up by neuroscience, the neuronal patterns that are created out of that, the neural connections and neuronal patterning. Have so much to do with our happiness and satisfaction and our meaningfulness, our purposefulness, our feeling a sense of fulfillment and a deep, profound, passionate love relationship to self, inner child, and to everyone and everything outside of ourself, and then our world and our universe. So, wow, that's a lot of stuff to talk about, but buckle up. And I'm saying that to myself always. I'm always talking to myself first and foremost, and doing my best and my purpose to enlighten others, to help others, to teach others, to empower others into their dreams. And this is not for everybody. I'm all about spirituality, magic, creating things by the pure power of heart and thought. So it's thinking, thought, backed by heart, passion, and feelings and emotions, and then with the least amount of effort, magnetizing, attracting, having it just come to me. I do it over and over and over and over again. I duplicate it over and over and over and over again. And so that's what I'll be teaching. That's what is coming out in my new Smart app. And you'll be able to have access to free resources, but also paid resources. But this is my most exciting thing, is to teach human beings how to magnetize money and be offered money, being and doing the very thing we love most, that we're most passionate about, obsessed with, And that is our gift, our talent, our product, our service that we're so purely connected to on such a high, again, passionate, desirable spiritual level that people actually come to us and offer. And that's how I've done every one of my entrepreneurial careers. And so I will be teaching through experience and giving you all the principles and the things that have worked for me, have not worked for me, and what to do to have it work the fastest, best way for you in terms of creating and magnetizing everyone and everything you desire most deep from within your core being, your heart. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So this is very exciting for me. A little scary. I'm not going to lie. Getting this app together has been a long time coming and a lot of new content. And it is not my forte to do the technical part of it. Although I do have support in a company doing it, it's still a lot of creative stuff and technical stuff that I need to deal with. So that said, I'm very excited to share all this with you in my own journey of self-evolution and the power of evolving from within, from our inner self. And I really want to emphasize evolving our inner child and helping our inner child along to match with our adult self. So that's a huge part of all of this. And here's to the power of self-evolution and season 3 and what's next up and coming. And again, my soul, S-O-U-L purpose and S-O-L-E purpose in this next level of my own journey is to empower and help as many human beings as possible to magnetize as much money, magic, and miracles as possible with the least amount of effort and the most amount of happiness and fun and adventure and playfulness and excitement and laughter as possible. So that said, stay tuned, continue to listen to my podcast as we go. I'll have different guests on. I will actually be doing live coaching as well with different people, and it would be unscripted, and we will be doing that as well. And so here we go. Wishing you all magic, miracles, and magnetizing money, honey. And I'm super, super excited. So thank you for listening. And I want to say something else, but I don't know what, is that scary, fun, exciting. And I'm going for it. So thank you for being part of that.